So here's a good question that I recently received. I hear the advice to masturbate before having sex, so it can help me last longer. The problem is, this doesn't make any difference. For example, if I get myself off, then have sex with my girlfriend a bit later, then sometimes we have sex again a bit later that same day. Good for you, I still come really quickly. Does this mean my premature ejaculation problem is severe? Now, something we don't know from your question is what your definition of really quickly is. Let's remember that for some guys, if they don't always last as long as they'd like to, or their partner doesn't always have as many orgasms as they hope for, or sex isn't always this mind-blowing, super satisfying experience, they diagnose themselves as having premature ejaculation. So it's quite subjective. But for the purposes of this question, I'm going to assume that you fall within the understood parameters of premature ejaculation and you are regularly coming within a minute or two of starting intercourse, and it's happening every time. Now, you're right that this advice about having a release and masturbating before sex is very common advice, and it's based on taking advantage of the male refractory period. So that's that period of time after we've come where our body kind of rebuilds its sexual energies, and it takes us a bit longer to feel horny again and get hard, and hence it slows everything down. It resets the clock. But I think the refractory period differs for every guy. For some guys it's minutes, for some guys it's hours, for some guys it's like the next day before they feel ready to go again. And I think that can cause one of the problems around using this technique to last longer: timing stress, timing anxiety. Let's just say that it's date night tonight or date afternoon, or you're going to be spending some time with your partner, and you might be thinking, well, it's been quite a long time since I've had an orgasm. I'm quite pent up. So if I masturbate now, if I don't leave then enough time before having sex later, am I going to have enough energy? Am I going to have trouble getting an erection? But if I don't do anything about it and I just go for it later, am I going to be all pent up and find it difficult to last? And so we fall into overthinking and anxiety and stressing, which creates this self-fulfilling prophecy of worry and coming sooner, which is very common with premature ejaculation. And then that brings us to our second point, which is exactly what you described. Some guys are just wired to come quite quickly. I've spoken before about the various physiological factors that contribute to premature ejaculation, like our hormone balance, serotonin levels, skin sensitivity, our genetic profile. For all of these different reasons, you might be wired to come a little bit sooner. If you have sex and just let nature take its course, and you don't yet have a real working strategy for slowing things down and staying relaxed, your body wants to come quite quickly every time. And if that's what you've experienced, there's no reason why you can't persevere a little bit and experiment. But don't get hooked up on this, because it doesn't mean that you have a severe premature ejaculation problem. It just means that you've learned a bit more about how your own body wants to work. And there are a whole load of different techniques, different things that you can do, you can experiment with to slow down and relax into sex. So by all means, continue to enjoy masturbation. We know the benefits. It can help you build awareness of how arousal feels in your body. It can help you experience that balance of arousal and relaxation, which is the key here. But don't get hung up on it. And you don't need to masturbate for this reset before having sex. I hope you found this helpful, and thank you for asking this really good question. If you have any questions about premature ejaculation or sexual confidence in general, please feel free to get in touch, and my website is linked in the description below this video. Also remember that I am a therapist sharing my opinions and general advice, But this is no substitute for going to see your own GP or doctor. So if you have any concerns about health or your sexual health, you should go and get a medical checkup and take some advice. Thank you very much for watching.